Hudson County View live and uncut, and I'm your host, the man of the hour, the man with the power, John R. Hudson, talking the latest and greatest at Hudson County News. As you guys are well aware, last night we had an 8th District congressional debate that pitted U.S. Rep. Rob Menendez against Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala, and we're just 6 days away from that contest, the June 4th primary, of course, right around the corner. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And there's certainly no shortage of topics in that realm. So beyond that, we're also going to talk about more chaos at the Jersey City Board of Education. This time, the Board of Education president had the entire meeting cleared after a bit of a dust-up with an audience member. So we're going to talk about that. Obviously, it's just a constant source of entertainment or disappointment over there, depending who you want to ask. But be that as it may, we're also going to talk a little bit about the Hudson County Chamber of Commerce. We have Newark Mayor Ross Baraka as part of a new series where they're going to be hosting gubernatorial candidates. So that's going to be next month. Talk a little bit about 2025. Over at the home front, we're going to talk about the Jersey City Municipal Utilities Authority. Last week, that was Thursday, they approved a 7% water and sewer rate hike, despite some residents and one councilman expressing their displeasure. And today, right after we come back from break, I'm going to be sitting down with Kearney 3rd Ward Councilman Renato da Silva, and he's actually on the ballot on June 4th as well for this Democratic primary over in West Hudson. So we're excited to talk about that and a whole lot more right after this word from our sponsors.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Hudson County View live and uncut, John R. Hudson. As I said a few moments ago, today I'm joined with Kearney 3rd Ward Councilman Renato da Silva. Renato, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much, John. Appreciate you.
You're very welcome. So now, obviously, there's not, most people don't even know, with all due respect, that there's even an election in Kearney on Tuesday. So, I think, first of all, let's talk about your appointment back in December. Why was this something you wanted to do? Obviously, you haven't had a long career in politics or anything, so why did you decide to hop into this seat when the opportunity presented itself?
So I've been involved in politics since I was a kid. I grew up in Portugal. My family was political by nature. My father was involved in politics. And being an educator and being part of the Department of Education in New York City, you're always around politics, one form or another. So even though I was not holding office or a seat in the council, I was always behind the scenes in terms of political activism.
All right, so you were regularly getting involved in Kearney campaigns?
Supporting groups of people, yes.
Okay, very good. So now obviously since December, there's been quite a few discords, I guess we'll call it, between the council members. Obviously it's a split board and sometimes things have gotten pretty testy. We saw the whole situation with the deputy mayor and one of your colleagues. And I'm sure there's a whole heck of a lot more that I haven't seen or heard. But, what do you think about this current dynamic and what do you think you could do to try to roll that back a little bit?
Yeah, I believe that we need a vision that's based on unity, a vision for the town, for the council and the mayor meetings to be a productive, democratic forum where we have open communication, where we build community, and where we are able to make decisions as a group.
All right, so obviously the seat was vacant because Carol Jean Doyle, who was the longtime
Correct.
council president, was elected as mayor. So, now we're having a special, and if you win in June and in November, then you run again in June. So before we get to the real nitty-gritty politics, why did you think that was worth your while in the event that you have to run I guess it'll be 4 times in really 1 year, right?
Yeah. I have a lot to offer Kearney. I'm a strategic thinker. I get involved maintaining the infrastructure and operational part of the Department of Education in District 4 in Manhattan. I am a person that believes in partnerships, believes in collaboration, and really the council needs that. I think that the skills that I've developed for the past 27 years as an educator and administrator are going to be extremely productive in order to push the government of the town forward and really focusing on the issues that need to be focused on as opposed to just episodes that are not necessary.
All right, point taken. Now, when we're talking about you filling the seat, so Carol G. Doyle actually voted against your appointment along with 2 other of your colleagues. And, that's kind of where the battle lines were drawn, so to speak. Not every single meeting has been chaos, but, there's been quite a few things that, have made it to social media and beyond. So, first of all, like, the dynamic of the mayor not supporting you and then this special election, and again, the election next year, how does that factor into not only your role as a councilman, but also for your role as someone seeking office again?
So, John, it's really not about me. It's really about Kearney. I am a politician right now, not because I'm serving my self-interest, because I'm serving the interest of the residents of the 3rd Ward. I have talked to a lot of different people. My views are very congruent with theirs. They need representation that matters to them. And that's where I am. When I speak, when I question, when I've challenged a couple of resolutions, I do it not because of my ego, but rather because it is the people's will that want to push forward to have more of a democratic government in town.
Okay. Now, when we're talking about this race, obviously it's a contested primary and your opponent's being backed by the mayor. So, when you do it, a compare and contrast between who's on the ballot on Tuesday, what do you think is the stark key differences?
For sure, the huge difference between my opponent and myself is the fact that I'm involved in current policy on a daily basis with my job. I'm an active participant of the Kearney mayor and council government. I'm aware of the policies that we are working on. My opponent is seeing everything from the outside. For the past 12 years, I've been involved shaping policy, the infrastructure of schools. It's the same thing with the town. I am aware of what needs to be taking place in town, the infrastructural repairs on the streets, on the roads. I'm aware and advocating for people's needs on a constant basis. And I think perhaps the strongest quality that I have is that I'm a strategic thinker, and I think in terms of systems. Everything is connected. And sometimes when you make a decision based on a simple resolution, you forget how that can affect something else. I bring in that perspective, and I'm a consensus builder within the group. Now, you are right. We are sometimes not all seeing the same issues from the same lens. And sometimes some of us will disagree. And that's okay. That's part of the democratic principle.
Very good. Councilman, don't go anywhere. Folks, don't go anywhere either. We're just going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Hudson County View, live and uncut. Still John Arhidis, still here with Kearney 3rd Ward Councilman Renato da Silva. So, Councilman, you've been there for over half a year now. What are you at, 8, 9 months about?
About 6, 7, yeah.
Okay, 6 or 7 months, excuse me. So when you're talking about your tenure on the council and you're looking at what you've accomplished and what you'd like to do going forward, tell us a little bit about your vision for the 3rd Ward.
Yeah, I think quality of life for the 3rd Ward is massively important. We have some projects that are occurring right now based on 100% grant funded, and some of them involve the beautification of the area right by the Passaic River with a new bike path where people can take advantage of, a new park. We also have a new boat ramp, which is really important for our crew house. And the whole idea about keeping up with our parks, we have a lot of young families moving into town. Our parks need to be rebuilt so we can provide playgrounds for the children. We also have a new community center. We just purchased a former Lutheran church, which we are turning into a community center based on recreation and also arts. I pushed for a resolution, a very democratic resolution, to include the voices of the public to participate in decision making. And the idea behind that is that the public should be able to voice what they would like to see within the community center. So that's a really important piece in my agenda to push forward for Kearney for the next few years.
Sure.
These are long-term projects.
All right, so let's elaborate on the community center if we could.
Yeah.
So this is something that I imagine isn't going to happen overnight. So can
Yes.
you give us a timeline and a cost and talk a little bit about the public process you plan on having around that?
So the public process, the idea is, so the resolution that I pushed for is for a committee, right? A committee that will have members of the council, will have the mayor, 3 members of the council, we'll have other people that work for the town that are visionaries and really have an input in terms of the structure, what it should have. And we also have members of the public. The concept behind that is so there can be a consensus of what the community center should contain, right? Like you said, John, it's a very long-term process. It's costly. And because it's grant funded, we want to make sure that everything that we put in action is really for the benefit of all within Kearney, all within the community. It is located in the 3rd Ward. That's why I feel very, very powerful about my participation in the whole process, in advocating for people's voices to be heard. But it's available for all in town. So it's important to really ensure that the public's voice really comes out in what's needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many people are on that committee total?
9, altogether 9, yeah. And like I said, it's people from different backgrounds, they all get to vote. And then we have town dignitaries who can, of course, offer their perspectives on how things should go as well.
All right, I don't expect you to have to the penny or to the day, but rough timeline, rough cost?
I would say definitely a few years for sure. I'm not sure about the overall cost. I would have to get back to you on that. But yeah.
All right, fair enough. Now, being an educator and, lifelong educator, I believe. Now, when you're looking at the local Board of Education, obviously it's 2 separate bodies. You have your mayor and council, and you have your Board of Ed, of course. But, throughout the county, throughout the state, really, there's varying levels of collaboration between the 2 entities, right? So when you're looking at that in your municipality, what do you think some things that are going well, and what do you think are some things that could be going better with that relationship?
Well, we have a liaison that's part of our government that also goes to meetings, Board of Education meetings. The Board of Education in general works well with the superintendent to get the work done. And there are, of course, like with any structure that deals with education, because education is ever evolving and people have different ideologies that they tend to, sometimes there's conflict. And that's normal. The Board of Education in Kearney has had conflict. Sometimes it could be creative tension type of conflict, where great ideas come out that will create progress for education. Definitely Kearney is pushing for new reforms in terms of career tech education. You know that we have the Hudson schools like high tech, which provide students with career tech education, and it is part of our ideology in Kearney to push forward, to have better programs like that. We have a great culinary program at the local level, and hopefully, as time goes on, the career tech programs will expand. Of course, the idea of college prep curricula will not disappear, but it will be complementary to it. To address your question, how does the Board of Education and the Council and the Mayor as a unit plan together? It's really done through the liaison.
Very good.
Yep.
Councilman, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, John. Appreciate you.
You're very welcome. Best of luck on Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
We're not done yet. We'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Good Friend Self-Storage in Northburg, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Hudson County View live and uncut. Chad Arhitis. So again, in case you haven't been following closely, we had that congressional debate. Of course, that's the 8th District, and it was U.S. Representative Rob Menendez against Ravi Bala, and that was mano a mano. And look, I got to tell you, folks, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I was fairly certain that it wouldn't be boring, but on top of that, I was really happy that we were able to cover a whole lot of ground. And, you know, again, big thanks to both campaigns. You know, obviously it's hard to get debates in Hudson County sometimes, but this time we made it happen. And of course, it wouldn't be possible without Hudson Media Group. So, of course, want to say a big thank you to Pat and Garrett. You know, they were obviously critical in making this happen as well. So in case you guys missed it, here's a quick clip. And this was within the first 5 to 10 minutes, I think closer to 5 minutes. But if you look at this 2-minute clip, you'll get a little taste of what we experienced here last evening.
Hoboken City Council members believe that there should be an investigation. The former mayor of Hoboken, Don Zimmer, has said there's credibility behind what Leo has said. You have an opportunity to say that you will engage in any meaningful investigation, that you won't compromise any investigation, that you won't obstruct any investigation, and if you want to be transparent, you can open up your phone records with Steve Fulop. All your texts, all your emails, and all your calls. All your calls, you should just disclose to the public, and we shouldn't need an open request to do so because you believe in transparency. You have the opportunity to show every resident here that you are transparent if you did those two things.
You want to talk about machine politics. When I endorsed you, Rob, I was told by Michael Solomon that you have to take this call, and Rob is going to call you to ask for his endorsement, and you're going to be on speakerphone, and his father, the sitting senator, is going to be listening to your response. You want the truth? That's the truth. That's why I had to endorse you, because I was threatened by the Menendez machine saying that if you don't endorse him, Hoboken is going to get hurt. We need to put an end to that, and that's what this election will do. Vote for me on June 4th.
You know, I mean, sorry, but that's a lot to allege in one comment. One is
truth hurts,
you can't stand up. You say you're going to stand up to Donald Trump. You can't stand up to Michael Solomon. That's a ridiculous claim. You should, if you really thought I was not the qualified person, you shouldn't have endorsed me. You chose to endorse me. The second thing, if you want to talk about intimidation, you should look at his track record as a mayor. He had silenced city council members. He had told his directors that they cannot communicate with elected city representatives. That is true intimidation. The things that he tries to claim of me, he actually does himself. He has a track record of having an issue there.
Mayor, anything else?
No, it's just this is an election between somebody with earned track record of accomplishments. You just need to look at the accomplishments and look at his experience. 1 year in office, never served an elected office. See who's more qualified. Vote for the person who's more qualified. That's all I have.
Hudson County View, live at Uncut, John Arhitis. So again, as you guys could see, I was being pretty accurate in my assessment, I believe. So hopefully when you get a moment, if you haven't already, you'll be able to spare an hour, especially if you're a voter in the 8th District. So talking about that race, let's also just note that last week, actually it was on Friday, the Federal Election Commission reports for the 12-day pre-election report specifically came out. And just briefly, I'm not going to get into it too much. I'll say Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala raised $396,458.94. This is between the reporting period of April 1st and May 15th. And conversely, Congressman Menendez raised $247,328.74, though Menendez has a sizable cash on hand advantage. Now, Bala said in a statement, the difference between my campaign and Rob Menendez's are night and day. My campaign is powered by individual contributions, while his continues to heavily rely on corporate PACs, lobbyists, and $20,000 from his father, Senator Bob Menendez, he has yet to refund. Residents of the district deserve a representative who isn't beholden to special interest groups and party bosses. Now, we also heard from Julietta Voigt, who is the campaign manager for the Menendez campaign. And if you read through the story, you'll see that I highlighted that there was a lot of spending on direct mail and also on email fundraising from the Bala team, and that was $461,034.20 from Washington, D.C.-based Break Something Incorporated, and obviously that's a lot of money for anything, but Julietta Voigt said that this deserves to be facing some scrutiny. In his latest FEC filing, Ravi Bala reported spending more than $450,000 on email fundraising in just the last 45 days, bringing his total email fundraising spend to over $650,000. That doesn't seem accurate. Voters deserve to know if the same Ravi Bala called unethical by the New Jersey Supreme Court and who got a no-bid contract for his law firm weeks after awarding a cannabis license to a political ally is purposefully obscuring what he is actually spending campaign funds on in his FEC reports. Ravi Bala needs to be immediately truthful with voters. So let's move beyond the 8th District for a moment. So again, the gift that keeps on giving, or the constant embarrassment, depending who you ask, maybe both. The Jersey City Board of Education had another bit of a debacle on Wednesday, and there was another meeting that went over 5 hours, and at one point, towards the very end, we're probably approximately 4 hours, 45 minutes in, there was a bit of an outburst in the crowd, and Board of Education President Dejan Morris asked for the audience to be completely cleared. And part of this at least seemed to be spurred by the fact that a woman was asked to leave and she would not leave. So when it started to escalate, you heard Morris say, "I'm sorry, security, do me a favor, just clear the room, the entire room, everybody's to go." That includes Miss Elizabeth Perry. If you fail to leave after I've asked you to be removed, that's called defiant trespass, that's a warning. So as at the meeting went on, this actually took about 13 minutes, and you could see him increasingly getting more frustrated as the room continued not to be cleared. He said, at one point, the preamble has been read for the second time. You have been asked to leave. Now you are defiantly trespassing, and we're asking you to leave. Officers, look, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. You will remove her now. That was directed at a woman that was yelling out, not the police, just to clarify. Or place her under arrest. I don't know why I have to tell you how to do your jobs, he said. And also worth noting that Morris is a Jersey City police detective. So again, more dysfunction at the board and more, I guess, really just bad news, because the meeting was actually supposed to be talking about an audit, which wasn't exactly a particularly great thing. I mean, 17 red flags were identified. It was a very long financial audit, 319 pages. And long story short, mismanaged accounts led to a net loss of over $2.4 million. So obviously that should have been the focal point of this meeting, but somehow it wasn't. So that seems to be the story of the Jersey City Board of Education these days. We're obviously going to keep our eye on them going forward. Now, one that I wasn't expecting last week, I mean, always expect the unexpected, but one thing that surprised me a bit was Hudson County Sheriff Frank Scileri confirmed to me that he will be seeking an unprecedented 6th term next year. And this came at a fundraiser at the Venetian, and while I was not in attendance, I was able to confirm with Scileri the following day. And he said, in short, throughout my tenure, I have worked closely with each of the county's 12 mayors and my fellow county officials, as well as the hardworking men and women of the Hudson County Sheriff's Office, to improve public safety by reducing crime, increasing transparency, and bettering accountability. The challenges our community faces require experience and dedicated leadership, which is why I'm running for a new term to ensure that Hudson County remains a safe, thriving place for all its residents for years to come. So it looks like North Bergen Mayor Nick Sacco and his political allies are behind this effort. The big question is, what does State Senator and Union City Mayor Brian Stack decide to do? Of course, it's over a year away, so we're probably not going to get that answer anytime soon. We're talking June 3rd, 2025. So that's an interesting ballot. You know, we're also going to have the gubernatorial primary and also the state assembly primaries for that race. Now, obviously, we're short on time, folks, so just want to briefly remind you that on Thursday, the Jersey City MUA approved a 7% water and sewer rate hike. The most impactful comments, in my humble opinion, was from Frank Educational Gilmore. Of course, he's the Ward F councilman. And basically, he said, we're all in a room, and it's like, who's going to be the bad guy? You're going to raise it from the school standpoint, the taxes get risen from the municipal budget, or you say, you know what, MUA, it's on you guys to take one for the team. Everyday people feel this pain. I assure you, and I hate to even say this, that at the end of the year, people are going to have water liens placed on their house because of this increase. And at the end of the day, the board approved this measure by a unanimous vote, 4-0. 3 commissioners were absent. And 2 very quick notes. Newark Mayor Ross Baraka, Democratic candidate for governor, will be at Hudson County Community College on June 5th, the day after the primary, between 8 and 9:30. And that will be a Hudson County Chamber of Commerce event, and that have upcoming events for gubernatorial and other candidates. And finally, congratulations to New Jersey City University interim president Andres Acebo. He was ranked #1 on ROI NJ's list of higher education influencers earlier this month. Thank you, folks. We're going to call it a week. We'll see you next time.